the other things that you get on the memory stick package, if I just show you, on top of the assessments and the work booklets, are that you receive over 95, I think it's 97 different work booklets, and we've popped them into the different themes to make it easier to access. So when you're teaching that theme, you can pull out the relevant work booklet and have a look at some of the activities and maybe set some for homework or set some as classwork activities. You also receive some extra revision support materials. We've designed some quizzes, some escape rooms, which are really useful to add a bit of excitement and enjoyment into the lessons as well. You do also receive 125 lesson topics for specific areas of the curriculum. There's around about between an hour and 2 hours worth of content in each one. And if I was to show you an example of a lesson, so here's one of the more difficult topics to teach if you've ever taught this, UK sources of law, almost similar to what was in the old AS level in law actually, and I would have studied this at degree level. So you can see you get your learning objectives, you have a few little starters here, and then goes into some detail about the different sources of English law there. And which courts can and can't interpret the different ones. We talk about secondary legislation, case law, European law, debate question, which is really good to look at the ideas that could be behind a 15-mark question. Then we go through some new vocab. There's a few little exam questions there as well. A link to a YouTube video. This one is Blackstone School of Law video about different sources of law, which is a really good recap video to use. Sometimes I'll make the kids make notes from it as well. And again, going through a bit more content, and then there would be some activities to recap and summarise the learning, kind of an AFL technique here. And again, going through the answers, so it's easy for everyone to know. And then looking at probably the most complicated topic, if it comes up, was delegated legislation and the advantages and disadvantages. Not likely to come up, but you never know, kind of a grade 9 kind of question there. And again, recapping some of the key terms, and again, another debate question there. And another activity, and then an exit. So it just gives you lots of ideas to use for that kind of lesson. You could pull out certain ones. It's all editable, so you can edit it to your school's preferred methods. So on top of the lessons there, we also provide revision topic cards for all of the different keywords that come up. We've limited it down to around about 360 key terms that come up across the GCSE. So it's good for the students to know them, because you don't want them to get stumbled on the definition of a word when it comes to an exam question, especially if it's in the 15 marker. And again, we've broken these down to make it easier for you into the different themes. So you've got theme A, B, C, and D, and E at the back there. We've also made a little revision guide that would be mapped to different themes as well. So you could print that at the end of the course, or we've got a whole revision guide with the whole course in. And most importantly, there's lots of digital online and revision support. We provide you with all the codes for our Cre8tive quizzes, so you can just load that back into your own Cre8tive, and you can set them. We've got feedback sheets for Quizlet, Kahoot, and Cre8tive. We've got a YouTube channel set up, and then probably the most important document to hand out at the start of the course, the personalised learning checklist, the PLC tracker. So you can sort of go along and tick them off as you're doing them, and then you can come back and revise and look at where your gaps are in your knowledge. We've also updated the memory sticks now to include brand new resources that reflect the general election 2019. So if you wanted to run your own election or look at the makeup of Parliament after this general election, we've provided resources there as well. We've also added on some homework projects. These have come from the 5-year PSHE memory stick, but they're citizenship-based ones. So if you want to create a new parliament or set up your own political party or build a new prison, the resources are there. They could also be used actually as quite fun bridging lessons if you were going to do something in terms of encouraging students to take up the GCSE citizenship. So they could even set them in year 8 or year 9. We provided 120 intervention and revision sheets for different grades. So you've got grade 1 to 5, set of 16, grade 6 to 9. So if a student wants to recap something or you need to set a specific homework, you could use or dip into these folders here. That's what they look like there. And then there are a few other bonus resources which are just citizenship related as well, for National Parliament Week, and a few other things, Fair Trade Fortnight as well, and Brexit. There's a few Christmas bonus resources on there as well, and then you can see the current price of the memory stick there as well. And from receipt of payment, we'll have it delivered to you in around about 5 working days. And just to show you one last thing on there as well is if I was to look at the memory stick here, you can see the contents. So for EDEXCEL, for example, you've got all of your exam papers here broken down by theme, so they're easy to access there. You've then got your revision guides, which are in there as well, PowerPoint version, so you can edit and move around topics if you want. You've then, they're revision topic cards, and you've got your revision guides, and that's in PDF as well, and in PowerPoint, so you can upload them if need be. You've got your 2-hour lessons, which cover different parts of the course. You've got about, I think there's about 100 of those, 125 of those. So let's just have a look. For example, how do we vote lesson? And inside there, if there's any activities that link to it, you'll see them as well. And then obviously you've got your PowerPoint there as well, like the role of an MP. Again, lots of different ideas for that one as well. Then you've got your work booklets. So you've got all of your work booklets for different themes. You've got Theme A work booklets, Theme B work booklets are all there, Theme C's are all here as well. Then you've got stuff here to help you with the 15% active citizenship element. So we've got campaign planning portfolio ideas for what you could do, and obviously you can adapt them or use the ones that are suggested. There's some revision quizzes, as we mentioned before. You've got all the intervention sheets here, so there's 1 to 5s, then you've got your 6 to 9s as well. And then you've got everything to do with digital online learning there, so there's examples of all the different Cre8tive quizzes you can load into your own Cre8tive area. We've got latest updates, so these are brand new stuff to do with the latest one. That's a great one there, the General Election 2019 Escape Room, brilliant fun that. Homework themed projects are all there as well, Christmas stuff, and then a few bonus extras as well. So you end up with probably individually thousands of resources on there. But it's a great little starter pack for anybody teaching the GCSE or anybody that just wants to top up their resources. And the idea behind this pack came from when I attended lots of courses, paid £300, £400, £500 for the courses, and to be honest, walked away with lots of ideas, but nothing practical, nothing I could pick up and take back into the classroom and teach. Whereas with this product, it is probably the opposite of going on a course. It's literally giving you the tools so you can go away, look at them, use them, adapt them how you want, and just start delivering the GCSE citizenship and providing high quality resources that you can amend and update as times go on. So yeah, just thought I'd just record this little video just so people can understand what you get in terms of saving you hours worth of planning, preparation, research, creating assessments and mark schemes. This will definitely save you thousands of hours, because it's certainly taken thousands of hours to create it, and gives you more time to mark the kids' work, I suppose, and to focus on specific interventions and how you can individually help your students. And when we trialled this curriculum about 3 years ago now, we did get a big cohort of students getting grade 9s, which is brilliant off the back of these resources. Then we've adapted and reformed them since. So we've had real successes on using these resources.